My name is Susan Centro. Welcome to the technology conference for this summer. I'm going to be talking to you today about flip cameras and video blogging. Okay, let me start by saying that video blogging is extremely awkward, and it takes a long time for myself and students to get used to this interaction here with the camera. It's kind of awkward, and having to watch yourself is something that takes some time and some practice. But today I'm going to tell you how I use this technique to help some of my students with their writing abilities. When I was presented with the idea to use a flip camera in my classroom to help with literacy, I was trying to figure out how I could actually do that and make some improvements with my students. Then I saw the movie Avatar, and I thought vlogging. That, along with some very helpful thoughts from other teachers, vlogging came about. And what the purpose was with that is, let me sort of set the picture here. My seniors are working on a research paper. They have been working on it, and they finally finished it, thank the Lord. But the idea with vlogging was that each student would get a chance to talk to the camera about their papers and about what they're writing and where their writing process is going to go. The original idea was that they would vlog 3 times, as they were brainstorming, after the rough draft, and then once the final paper was completed. And then they would go back, look at each one of the vlogs, and see how their thoughts have changed. It's an attempt to make them see their paper and to see what kind of a writer they are and how to change that, make those corrections that needed to be made, and actually just to start to see and understand how they make thoughts and how they combine those into writing pieces. When I presented the idea of vlogging to my students, at first they were completely annoyed and confused as to what it was, but at least they had a heads up. We normally blog in our classroom. My students are used to blogging about daily assignments and daily readings and interacting with each other via the internet. So this was a different way to turn the cameras on them and let them actually analyze what they did. Now, at first they were definitely frustrated and irritated and didn't know what to do. So let me show you an example of that.
Well, I don't know really what to say, but I'm writing my paper on gambling. I'm going gambling again tonight. Hopefully I get a good turnout like I did last weekend, made about $18. Hopefully win some blackjack money. I think this paper thing's pretty dumb. It'd help if you gave us some examples of what to do, like some worksheets or something, so we can like see how to do it. Plus, we're writing a paper, but we got like 50 different things to do about the paper, like beforehand. Like, we gotta do the annotated bib and sources and all this stuff, when we should really just write the paper and go to town with the rough draft. And then, well, I got a 0, and I don't have any of my makeup work due from when I had surgery. Somebody's coming. I don't know really what to do. I'm gonna film them in a second, so I don't know what to do. And she just fell. And
now, once we get past all of that, the kids started to get a little more comfortable with the cameras, and they started to get down to business a little bit more. But let's talk about the practicality of using the flip cam for vlogging in the classroom before we actually get into more details. It's very difficult to find time for every single student to use the flip camera. So that was one of the issues that I had, and I'll talk more about issues that I had later. But what I did, because obviously these kids are not going to talk in front of everybody else to the camera because it's just way too awkward, was that I was able to set up a place in my building where they could go and vlog there in private. So I'm going to take you on a little tour right now. This is my classroom. I'm going to show you a quick view. Please excuse the mess. This is the second to last day of school, and we're you know how it is. We all work in school. So this is my classroom. These are my students who are helping with this little video. Say thank you. Okay. Whenever I sent my students out to vlog, they came out of the room luckily, this is our hallway here. And I sent them down the hallway. This is our janitor, Blaine. Sent them down the hallway to our 3rd floor corridor where they could shut the doors by themselves and set up the camera and vlog. And that's where they did. This was just a private little space. We shut these doors. Set the camera up in the windowsill, and that's where they began to vlog. Okay, so once they found a place to have a private conversation with the camera, then things started to get a little bit better. Let me show you some examples from the first round of vlogging. On, and whenever you're off, then just hit the red button back here and bring it back to me. 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Lovely.
Okay, I'm doing how the roles of the first ladies have changed. And I'm doing like certain sections, like one's going to be about Martha Washington, another one's going to be about Eleanor Roosevelt, Jacqueline Kennedy, or as most people know her, Jackie O. I'm really having a hard time finding stuff about Martha Washington. I went to the public library and I couldn't find any books on her, so I'm feeling like I'm going to have to go to Eastern and look in their library for either an autobiography or a biography on her or something. But I found a couple of websites that have quotes on her and have a biography on her on the website, so that should help a lot. I'm really frustrated with Miss Sintra because she hasn't emailed me about if I need to do a text feature, like a text box thing, or a actual section on the random facts about the first ladies. Like Eleanor Roosevelt was the longest first lady in the White House. But overall, I think I have a pretty good head start on my paper. My annotated bibliography is kind of coming along. I've been reading a lot about Eleanor and Mary Todd Lincoln and Hillary Clinton, and because I didn't even know that Hillary Clinton got to talk to Eleanor Roosevelt. There's a whole chapter in Hillary's book about that, and I'm learning a whole lot about these women that most people overlook. Like, they just think, oh, they're in the White House, they are wives and mothers to the president, and they haven't really accomplished a lot, but in the end they really have. Eleanor was the traveler, unlike the president. She's the one that went out, and she went to England and the Caribbean and the Pacific, and I'm just really interested in all this topic. I'm really glad that I've changed it, even though I've changed it like a million times, but overall I think once I start writing, it'll get easier.